Welcome, everybody, to the greatest show where I get to show off the greatest people and have way too much fun doing it. Today, I have my special guest, Désirée DuMonde. Thank you, Désirée, for being here. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited.
Me too. We just had so much in the pre-show laughter and joy. So
Don't
start. Okay, serious face.
Oh, I've just got the laugh. Calm down. Oh, it's gonna be a red face call.
What I actually love about all these giggles and this joy is the topic that we're talking about today is a commitment to being. And I think most people are like, well, that's some serious stuff right there. It's like some really commitment serious stuff. Yeah.
Wow. It's really hard.
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about, how difficult it is in the being of it. So commitment to being. So people, I see a lot of people committing to either a partner, they commit to a job, they commit to something outside of themselves, often commit to being a parent or commit to being something rather than just commitment to being. So would you start us off, just what is commitment to being?
Oh, so cool. Well, it's first of all, it's a willingness to have you and find the joy of exploring and revealing what the joy of being you is, because it's not something that you're gonna be like, oh, being me is when I'm really giggly and when I'm really I'm a really good writer, so I guess I'm being me when I'm writing. It's not like that. It's this curiosity. So the best that I could say is, for starters, it's like, have you been willing to be curious about your own brilliance, your own greatness, your own joy? And so it brings up this whole bunch of tools and practices to kind of, I don't want to say remove yourself, but have an increased awareness of where you're plugging into those contextual relationships and making yourself fit someone else's needs, rather than having that ongoing curious joy of like, who am I and what can I gift to the world, like we had as kids.
Yeah. And I love that about you said ongoing curiosity, because I think there's this idea I've heard of where you like find you, and then once you found you don't have to be curious about it anymore because you found it. You know, like you're looking for your keys and you find them.
Well, that's what we do, right? We grow up and people start to tell us what we're good at, what we're not good at. So we eliminate what we've decided we're not good at or that we're not equipped at. And then we get our education, or we specialize in things. And I've been playing with that word, like specialize, because it doesn't mean that those aren't capacities that you can continue exploring, but it's where we lock ourselves up into thinking that's all there is. And then we also, in so specializing our life or defining ourselves as what we think we are successful at or good at, we've lost the joy and curiosity in it, and we have to continue being good at it or evolve in the skill, which also kills the curiosity. So it's like, all of us have variations of ages, but for me, it was really toward the end of high school, the pressure of picking what you're going to study in college and what you're going to be. And it was like, okay, I guess the playfulness is gone. I got to figure out like where I'm strongest and go for it. Wow. So I just wonder how many capacities and brilliances, like with the tools that are available on Access Consciousness, I've discovered gifts and capacities that I hadn't touched since I was a kid that are so valuable to my adult life and the gift I can be to the world.
Wow. That is such a beautiful invitation. And I'm sure a lot of our listeners are wondering, so how do I get there though? So I've defined myself and I've been doing my best to be as good at this commitment to whatever and some people it is like that mom, like I'm going to be the best mom, and that's who they be. Like they've decided that that's what they be. And so what would you recommend? What are some steps? How could people start to explore this other possibility and start to infuse some of that curiosity again?
That's so great. Well, what I've been doing with a lot of people is like write down like the 5 to 10 places that you give most of your life to. Maybe it's your marriage, maybe it's being a mom, maybe it's your business, and write them down and then ask some really vulnerable questions with yourself, like how much am I having me in the joy of being a mom? And you might even play with like a percentage and not make yourself wrong for what comes up, because of course every mom is committed. I mean, you have a kid or multiple kids, right? And I'm not a parent, but I know that commitment is a reality that you kind of can't get out of unless you want to. But that kind of commitment can be a joy if you include you in it. So making a list, even a lot of people will go to like, oh my gosh, I've been giving myself up for my marriage. And then they think in order to be who they are, they have to divorce someone that they actually care about. And that's not the case either. It's beginning to recognize like, where could I turn me up? And how much am I doing everything to please someone? And one of the things that I just say all the time is, I try to say this as often as I possibly can, but you don't make people that you care for more by being less. And often when we're in a relationship, we'll be less to try to make them comfortable, to let them shine. We'll hold back. We'll take ourselves out of the equation. We'll do everything we can to see them flourish in the world. But it actually doesn't work that way. We're designed to like really inspire each other by celebrating each other's greatness. It's just sort of out of style, but we could bring it back by being that. And I am the parents and the lovers and the partners that choose to try this out. Man, it can change your whole world.
Wow. I love, you said, where can I turn me up?
Yep. Yeah. Even if it's just a tiny bit. Like, what if you don't have to figure this all out? Because it is an ongoing, it's like, it's the joy of living is to find how you could bring yourself more to the surface, gift yourself more to the world, just inch by inch or leap by leap or inch and leap, or every day might be a conglomeration of both or none. None of it's right or wrong, but you get to actually recognize that you're the source of how much you show up and how much you're getting to be you. So being you is having your awareness of the gift that you are, having the awareness of the gift that you are in that relationship, in that commitment to your business. And it's funny because we learn that to commit to something, you commit to it and throw yourself out. Yeah. But the awareness of like, what gift am I in this? That if I really fed the gift that I am in this commitment, then you're committed to you. You're committed to being you.
I got chills. I'm so excited. Yeah. So you can apply that. So yeah, I can get where people could apply that to their relationships, they're in business or as an employee, or how all these different places that can show up. I love looking at where commitment to being also plays in with kind of intimacy. So like honoring yourself, having your own back, being vulnerable with yourself, all of that kind of stuff. Do you have what would you share about that? And how's that shown up for you?
Heck yeah. So I don't know about you guys out there listening, no matter where you are on your path, because I know what it's like to be at my lowest day and also such lightness and brightness. But even on my lowest day, I had a space of curiosity and hope. So I just want to speak to like the degree from the slightest bit to maybe some of you are having the greatest night, but all of us actually, there's something that there's this part of you that you're the only one of your kind. You're the only one that has the message to bring, that you are, whether you know the message or not. You have this unique fragrance, you have this unique message, you have this unique sound into the world. And that is my interesting point of view, is that is the same essence of hope for the future. So if you just tap into that unique spot that is often just covered with judgment, that it's wrong, it's a misfit, it doesn't, nobody gets you, you don't, you don't fit in any label. Of course not, because you're the only one of your kind. I just realized as I'm talking, I don't remember your question. Like, I really like this train of thought, but I don't remember your question.
Well, everything you said was brilliant.
Oh, I do.
It? Yeah.
So, okay. So then what I found was, in hindsight, every choice, if you trust this, that every choice you've ever made was for an awareness for something greater, then you can like recover everything that you've made wrong about you. Like, it's sort of like a little litany, like this little list of wrongnesses, and you can just go to each one, and if it weren't wrong, then what gift of awareness could I have? And you're going to find that you actually have always been committed to you. Mm-hmm. You just are in the lack of celebrating it, or maybe being grateful for it. And maybe you'll see, like, wow, that really wouldn't have, if I didn't do that, this, and this, and this, and this wouldn't have happened. What if you actually are already committed to being you, and all that's really required is you voicing a kindness to yourself, voicing the gift that you are a little more, I want to say loosely, like with ease, without restraint. And like, what if you already got it? What if you already have all the commitment to being you, and you have all the brilliance? It's just a matter of you being kind enough to voice it to the world, which is like this really amazing thing that happened for me and in my journey, that this all showed up with having a voice in the world, because it started very linearly, like, I'm a singer, I sing, there's that. But what that taught me was how to continuously surrender my judgments of me and put myself out there. Just get over my judgment, just get out there and gift. It doesn't matter what it turns out. You can't control it. Just, lady, you're nervous, you want to judge yourself, but the curtain's going to open, you got to walk through. And so I wonder if we can all just tap into that, like, oh my God, I don't have to get this right. I matter. Like, so just having a voice in the world is one of the greatest joys of getting to know you, because you're going to hear what you have to say, and you're going to hear that nothing's ever wrong, and you're going to get a kick out of yourself.
So having a voice, this is so brilliant. So having a voice in the world actually allows you to discover more of you, if you're willing. Yeah.
Well, how often do you guys notice that when you finally go to speak, it doesn't come out the way you were thinking it?
Yeah.
Because when you actually go to say something or gift something or deliver something, the vulnerability is there, the willingness for it to crack and crumble and also burst into song, it's all there. And so it's actually living, and it always surpasses what you were thinking. So what we do is we hold back and judge ourselves, rather than just, oh my God, I am committed to me. I'm just going to start sharing me all over the place.
All over the place.
Everywhere.
Because, sharing myself.
Like, right. And I know that some of you are out there like, no, like, you don't understand. There's this and this and this, my family, my business, there's this argument, there's a divorce, I bet if you start listening to what you would voice rather than what you would think, your life would start to change.
Someone needs to write that down, and you need to make a meme about that or something, because that was amazing. Yeah, or clip it. I don't know. It has to be somewhere. Can we talk about singing for a minute?
Sure. My favorite subject.
Yay. So you're a singer. You also contribute to other people singing. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I would like to know, first I want to start a little personal. So we talked about opening the curtain. You're going to be there, right?
Yes. We talked about that.
Okay, yeah. So I've seen people step into whatever spotlight it is, whatever that is for them, and they actually want to protect and defend their being. Like it's like, and that could be with a fake pretense of who they are, or it could show up in so many different ways. So when you when the curtain opened for you, when you exposed yourself to the world, did you start with that, you know what, just that raw vulnerability? Was that something you had to work towards and work on?
Gosh, I love this question because it's being asked in the opposite way that it's ever been asked. And I'm so excited. You know, I'm going to tell you that this is so cool. The vulnerability to just give my being, give something beautiful, whether it was perfect or not, that vulnerability was always there, and it was always the dominant energy. Of course, in the business and being younger and not having these kinds of tools and being so indoctrinated by coaches and teachers and, you know, all kinds of producers and directors, people kind of tried to teach me to make a synthetic shield to protect myself and to create an image for the world. And that was detrimental for me. Now, I'm not going to say that it couldn't be a great creation for some people, but I started to buy the what they wanted me to perform to the world was more valuable than me.
Wow. And
when that happened, I lost my joy for singing and I stopped, full stop, among other things. But that was something in me was like, if they don't want the vulnerable me, then I don't want to do this. I don't know that that is the case for every singer, but the singers that I've worked with for 20 years, from all ages, what I pride myself in doing is harnessing that vulnerability and making it the most valuable commodity of what they can be on stage and off stage and everywhere in their life. But it's sort of the opposite of what is often the case. And yes, most singing, most entertainment is this proving doing. But what would it create if, whether you're a performer or you're just performing in your life as a leader in business or a doctor, a lawyer, we're all performing somewhere. What if it was the vulnerability that made you the most powerful in the room? And I know it feels weak, but it's not. It's just a trick. It feels like you're weakening, but you're actually occupying more power and being more power. And it is a very intimidating energy if you're willing to be you. An intimidation of empowerment.
Yeah. And how many of us have seen other people and we've been intimidated? So we have that awareness, but then when it comes to us, we have that programming. Oh, vulnerable is weak. Vulnerable is all these things, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And it's really courageous it's actually really inspiring to witness someone being so courageous with their being. And yeah. I find it less intimidating, more like really exciting and inspiring.
Absolutely. And that's the other thing. It's always like the opposite. We think it's like, I use that word, but it's the empowerment. It's like it's an attraction and it empowers people and turning the molecules on for everyone. But we'll shy away from it because we think we're overbearing or we think we're trying to prove something. So it's this interesting game of playing with like vulnerability with like a vulnerability that runneth over again and again and again. And it can seem like a lot, but the more you play with it, it relaxes. And vulnerability becomes the new comfortable place, and doing just, it feels so compressed and rigid. In a matter of even weeks of playing with this awareness, in a matter of even weeks or less, it will feel too compressed and you'll be frustrated because you'll be longing for that living essence of you. Because the whole thing about committing to your being is you're going to start to actually really fall in love with being you. You can't make her or him wrong any longer. It's just not going to work anymore. You perceive what it devolves. And it's like putting like a toxin on a beautiful plant. Like you won't do that once you know. You wouldn't devolve something as magic as you if you're committed to celebrating your own greatness.
Yeah, and I love how you keep answering my questions before I ask them. I'm like, yeah, okay, good. She went there.
I heard you.
Yeah.
I heard you here, not
here. Yeah,
right there.
and okay, so I love this invitation for people, and we start to expose our being. You possibly are going to fall in love with who you be. And then once you do, like, if we look at anything in our lives that's the most valuable, right? Like, that's so precious, so treasured, there's something that's so valuable, you are committed to it. Like, you would not, like you said, pour toxins on it. You wouldn't devolve it. You wouldn't disregard it. So what would it be like to start being in that acknowledgement of the gorgeous being that we all are? And with that acknowledgement, you talked a little earlier about what if you already are, and that's such a powerful gift to acknowledge what's going on, because I think some people buy something else is going on, so they're functioning like this is what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah. But
exactly.
You could go. You got a zing on it.
No, it's just you keep going. It's so spot on. I love it. Keep going.
Yeah, but to acknowledge what is actually true can almost free you of all the pretense and the monkey mind, the thoughts that are going on that are maybe telling you that that's something else. Yeah.
Well, and that's the a whole beautiful conversation of trusting, like, really part of committing to being your being, not the dominion of your definition, is that immensity. It's this immensity of trust that those quick whispers of knowing something, being aware of a person's whole universe, all these things that seem, too big, too complex to know without, hard cold evidence or something. Like, really, and like really having this immense, and this has been an ongoing upgrade for me, and I'm just going to keep upgrading as long as I ever be. And it's like, wow, the immensity of trust. I just keep expanding it and turning it up, because that trust isn't in the me. It's in the being, and the being is also where you, me, all of us are connected as oneness, and where you also, the more you trust that being and commit to being, you get all of this nourishment and support and speed of space awareness that you can't ever really step out of grace, so to say. You might do something really stupid, but it's generative. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it really does, actually.
Yeah, it's like, like stepping out of grace, not from that old way of trying to be a righteous little angel, but stepping out of, like, go ahead and make a damn mess and know that every choice is generative, because you're willing to be that aware and supported by there's a whole other conversation about what you get to have when you commit to being.
Wow. So I can't believe that it's already, yeah, I'm like, how did this happen? So we're gonna have to have you back on the show again. That's what I've just chosen. I would love little quickly before we jump into the game. I just want to point to anyone that would like more with you to check out the links that we have with the show. Vocal coaching, you're a certified Access Conscious facilitator, maestro, like the list goes on. So if you guys are drawn in any way and you don't even know what it is, please check her out. Jump on her page, engage with her. She's, as you can see, incredible and such a huge gift to have in anyone's life. And I wanted to point out, you said this thing about when you work with singers, and I'm not sure the exact words you said, but you get them to get a sense of their being as the valuable product. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's different. That's very different.
It's very different. And I didn't always know that that's what I was doing. And then all I knew is I was going to do everything that and I know a lot of you have this as parents, teachers, whatever you are in the world, but I just was going to do everything that I wished someone had done for me at the speed of space. And the more I practiced that and delivered it, especially to the young singers who have no resistance and saw what it created, don't start crying. When you see what it creates over thousands, you just keep trusting you. And that's the other thing that I must say is that one of the greatest ways to commit to your being is to gift you. And then you see the gift bring out the gift they are in themselves. And the more we become accustomed to really celebrating each other and gifting to each other, it's like too good to be true. It takes a lot of expansion to receive that much beauty. And that's what I'm asking for, to have to stretch to receive everything that I have had and more.
Wow. I'm going to ask for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Okay. Yes. Please check out Désirée. I'm like melty, gushy, chewy, gooey goodness right now. Shall we play a game?
Yeah, I like games.
Okay. I like games too. That's why we always have a game. Okay, so this game is called Would You Rather?
Okay.
So I have a list of questions for you. And then, so I'm just going to, would you rather this or would you rather that? And then, but we're going to do
nervous.
it. Yeah. And we always like to add, like, speed it up. So I'm pulling out my little stopwatch. Because then you can't do too much thinking and you're just trying to answer the questions of like first thing, which is so fun. So we have a 2-minute timer. The guest always goes first on the show. So I'll ask you first and then we'll flip it and then you can ask me your questions. So my wonderful producer gave me my questions. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes. What am I going to expose? What am I going to share with the world?
Exactly why we chose this game.
It's really good. It's really good. I'm nervous. Okay.
All right. I'm sure they're not bad. Okay. So would you rather be known for your laugh or known for your snorting?
My laugh.
Would you rather?
But I have to say they go together often. But anyway.
Oh. So secretly you ninja'd them both in. Okay.
Yeah.
So would you rather team up with Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel.
Oh, I want to know more about. Maybe we'll talk about that later. Okay, would you rather watch nothing but Hallmark Christmas movies for the rest of your life or nothing but horror movies for the rest of your life?
Oh, God. Horror movies, I guess. Wow, that's the toughest. That's tough.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Would you rather go into the past and meet your ancestors or go into the future and meet your great-great-great-grandchildren?
Future.
Oh, okay, cool. Would you rather be able to talk with animals or speak all 4 languages?
Animals.
Would you rather be without internet for a week or without your phone?
Without phone. Okay.
Would you rather go to a movie or to dinner alone?
Dinner alone.
I like that too. Would you rather? We're doing so good. Okay. Would you rather read an awesome book or watch a good movie?
Book.
Would you rather be the most popular person at work or school or the smartest?
Smartest?
Okay. Would you rather spend the night in a luxury hotel room or camping surrounded by beautiful scenery? Camping? We just did it. Like,
wow.
That's a record. I'm impressed.
Wow. I'm still haunted by the horror movie question. Okay. I don't really want to be stuck with that. I have to let it go.
Yeah, let it go. You have total choice. You can watch anything you want.
I have choice. It wasn't a reality. Okay, that is too funny. Okay, so now I have to ask you, and you'll time it?
I'll time it. Yep.
Okay, you just
Tell me when you're
when.
ready. Okay, and go.
Would you rather explore space or the ocean?
You know what? I would always say space, but now I'm like, ooh, ocean. Space. Okay. Would you rather be a kid your whole life or an adult your whole life? Oh, adult.
That's interesting.
Because I hated the limitations of a child. I was like, just let me do what I want to do. I know more than you. Stop it.
Okay. Would you rather have X-ray vision or magnified hearing?
X-ray vision.
Yeah. I wonder what you want to see. Okay.
Everything.
Would you rather have a cook or a maid? Wow. These are
tough. You know what? A maid. Because I can order out food really good.
I can still find a cook. Yeah. Oh my God. Would you rather have Rambo or the Terminator on your side? Oh my God, I love this.
That's amazing. I'm going Terminator.
Oh, that's so cool.
I just love Arnold.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, it was great. He's like metal and stuff. Yeah. It's like.
Oh my God. Would you rather have to sew all your clothes or grow your own food?
Oh, grow my own food. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm not sewing clothes. No.
Who knows how to do that?
I know like 2 people left on the planet, and I'm not one of them.
Oh my God. Oh, I want to say so many things. Okay, keep going. Would you rather have your own boat or your own plane?
Oh, plane.
Yeah.
And make it a jet. Private jet while we're at it.
Yeah, Lear. Would you rather your own boat or your own plane? Can you ask the same question twice? Okay. Would you rather be able to breathe underwater or fly through the air?
Fly.
Yeah, cool. Oh. Would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 into the future? I'm sorry. 10 minutes or 150 years?
Oh, probably 150 years.
Would you rather
kind of my reality right now? So
I know, it's like, no.
It's kind of,
all right, we'll take it to 151. Okay, would you rather cuddle a koala or pal around with a panda?
Oh, it's really hard.
It's really hard. I couldn't answer that one.
You know what? One of my favorite gifts is like there's a panda and he like hugs them and then they fall over and they're totally palling around. You know, I'm going to go with that one.
Yeah.
Because I always kind of wanted to be in that group. Every time I see it.
I don't blame you. That's all of the questions.
Yeah, our time already went.
Oh,
so, sorry. It's all right. I was enjoying myself. I couldn't stop you.
Don't pay attention. I'm committed to enjoying myself. You're not going to stop me.
Yes.
Time. I'm asking these.
And then it's actually a great way to close the show. Committed to enjoying yourself, and no one is gonna stop me. I love it. I adore you.
Thank you.
So grateful. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. We'll have you back for sure if you're willing. And we'll see you guys next week. Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't that fun.
It's okay. I'm gonna brag her, guys. Don't worry. Send
yes. I'll be back.
All right. I'll be back. Bye.
Bye.
We'll see you next week on The Greatest Show. Yeah, I got it.